Alrighty, so we are recording, and welcome to everybody this evening. It's going to be a great night. I'm going to quickly run through Trevor's presentation. It's not something you can actually quickly run through, but we'll walk through it, and I'll give a couple of explanations on a couple of bits and pieces as we go through. So, sharing the screen, bring that up, and here it is. All right. So we have a little bit of introductory music. So that's all right. And let me just shift this out of the road. So we're very excited to share with you what we've found that is making us look and feel so much better, and also making a lot of people a lot of money. So when you're sharing this with whomever, that is why you're sharing it. You're excited to share with them what you found. That's making you look and feel better. And it's also making a lot of people a lot of money. Now, that's a pretty true statement. Okay. Now, when we're sharing this with people, the idea is to read these slides to them. I know they can read them, but what we're doing is not for everybody. Right? We're simply looking for people who are looking for something more in life. Free time, money, energy, weight control, more fun, long-term health, or an ongoing residual income. And which of these do you want? So when you're sharing this with people, this is your conversation. And when you say, which of these do you want? Don't be frightened of the silence. Sometimes I'll sit there for a couple of minutes going, what? I don't know. Just sit in silence just for a couple of minutes, not over a long time. And they'll come up, oh, well, you know, more money and better health. Okay, fine. You know, but if they go, well, gee, I don't know. Right? And say, yeah, look, I had a hard time picking up on that too, but a bit of extra money always comes in handy, and long-term health has always got to be good for us. And we just go down that path. But if they're really only interested in the weight loss, then we don't have to spend a lot of time talking to them about the money. If they're really interested in the money and the ongoing residual income, and of course, yeah, health's always important, then we just go through the health stuff and we spend more time on the money. So this is, you've got to be able to read your people a little bit, but this is a conversation you're having. So what would your ultimate goal be? Now, it doesn't matter whether it's health, weight loss, or money. So, oh, well, you know, I really want to lose 25 kilos. Well, okay. So 25 kilos would be the ultimate weight loss goal? Yep. Okay, could you give me 2 or 3 examples of what your ultimate goal would look like? Like, imagine yourself, you know, 25 kilos down, how would you feel, all that sort of stuff. And so, but if it's money, what your ultimate goal would really look like? Oh, well, I'd like to build a nice, really nice new home, about, you know, 35, 40 squares. I'd like a 5-car garage. All this sort of stuff. I'd like a jet ski parked in the garage as well, or maybe 2. All this sort of stuff. So get them to, you know, go down the dream path a little bit. So why is, you know, and then you can ask why. Now, some of these, depending on how forthcoming they are as to how much time you spend on different slides. Otherwise, it could look like you're putting them through the Spanish Inquisition, right? So just read your people a little bit. So yeah, mate, how would you feel if you'd had that nice new home, 5-car garage, the jet ski, you know, the spa out on the back deck, all that stuff you were talking about? How would you actually feel? Oh man, that'd be just the duck's guts, right? Okay, then for a business to be successful, it must provide a product or a service that solves people's problems both now and in the future, because we're going to make money out of a business. And it's got to be a business that's going to be around and good today, good tomorrow, and good way into the future. We solve problems. Now, this is going to be the theme all the way through. Before looking at the business proposal, so if people are all about the money and you've approached them on, on the business, on the money, and we've just been through the goals and the dreams of what they do with the money. So before we start looking, right, before looking at the business proposal, we'll have a quick look at some of the products and see how well they help people solve problems. Obesity is a huge problem everywhere. Australia's statistics are 75 to 80% of middle-aged men are overweight in Australia. 63.4% of Australian adults were overweight or obese. That's 11.2 million people. So we have a huge problem, but because we solve the problems, as a business, we have huge potential. Huge potential. Every business out there that's worth its salt is only there to solve a problem of somebody else. It doesn't matter whether it's a hardware store. You want paint and nails, you've got a problem. You go to the hardware store to buy the paint and the nails. Your problem solved. You need a new car? Like Adam will need one soon. He bought a Ford, it'll wear out soon. But you need a new car, right? You go to the car yard, look for another car. That's why they're always selling cars. People got problems. And see, I've got the microphone, Adam, so you've had it. All right, but huge business potential everywhere there's a problem. That's what business does, solve problems. We have sold over $6 billion worth of products since 2002 because our products solve problems. Tens of thousands of lives have transformed, and many have been documented and have documented their transformation on social media.
Now to the story of the former Australian rugby star who took on social media and won. Front rower Matt Dunning was constantly ridiculed for his size until now.
Okay, so we've all seen the Matt Dunning video, right? Now, real people getting real results. Now, some of these people are actually in our group. There's Cheryl, she's in our left leg, Cheryl Edwards, right? This lady's in our group, and that lady's in our group, right? So, you know, when you look at it, they're real results. Now, many personal trainers use and recommend isogenics. Many have shared that they had no idea how good the products would prove to be just by looking at the ingredients list. Some people just read the ingredients list and think, oh yeah, right? Don't be fooled just by the ingredients. You guys know that.
Thanks for coming today and checking out isogenics and taking the time to really understand what it's all about. My name's Mary Evans, and I'm a personal trainer. Isogenics came into my life about 2 years ago.
Okay. Now, this is really, really interesting. On Saturday at the function, Trevor was talking about, as a veterinary surgeon, he knew that, let me get my little pointer here. That one I want, and I want that one. Oh, hang on. I want that one. He knew that depleted soils led to depleted animals as a vet, right? We've got chemical fertilizers, overuse of the soils, acid rain and pollution pouring down on the ground. He knew that if they didn't give the animals mineral and vitamin supplements, they could not get them to perform at their best. Like he said, he never related it back to him that he would have a deficiency. Because if the food is deficient, then we who consume the food also have to be nutrient deficient, right? And of course, then, you know, we've got an absorption disorder. Diet and bad habits lead to an absorption disorder. Processed toxic food and medicines, literally none of it's designed for the human body. So again, we have this huge problem. We solve problems. So therefore, we have a huge business potential. Who's our marketplace? Every single living human on planet Earth. Right? That's our marketplace. The young, the middle-aged, the old, that's our marketplace. This is power. This is a very, very powerful slide. It's incredible. Okay. Now we know about the nutrients in our shakes and how good they are. I don't have to go through that with you guys. Right? We still haven't fixed this one yet, John, but we'll get to it. Okay, we live in a toxic environment. Our air and water pollutants, cigarette smoke, cosmetics, heavy metals, household cleaning products. I was talking to a guy the other day. He's got emphysema and he's never smoked in his life. Never smoked, but he's got emphysema. But he's a diesel mechanic and fitter, and he got it from inhaling diesel fumes over years and years and years, and now he has emphysema. Right? The toxins that are out there kill you. Right? Again, huge problem. We solve problems, so we have a huge business potential. So who's our market? Every single human on planet Earth. And again, this is going through how the toxins, the body stores fat to protect itself from the impurities and the toxins. And so if you just go on a diet, you skinny down the body, but you don't get rid of the toxins. You go off the diet, you go back, and the toxins just spread out. Right? The healthy way to achieve a cleaner, leaner body, the body stores fat to protect itself from impurities. Impurities are released, so the body releases fat and increased health and wellness. So through our cleansing, we get rid of the toxins and we just go into a maintenance program and we remain healthy. This is not a diet. Right? This is not a diet. This is an enhanced eating program. Now we know about the telomeres and all that sort of stuff, so we won't spend much time going through here. And that's where it's done it to me again. So hang on. We're going to get through that. Beautiful. Sometimes it's been jamming up on me on that spot, so I'm glad we got through there. Okay, I can get rid of this. Okay, bad things happen when telomeres get short. We know that. We know that. Who's our marketplace? We've got a huge problem. Everyone's getting older. Everyone's getting age-related diseases. Because we can solve these problems, we have a huge business potential. There isn't a person that you walk past every day that doesn't need some aspect of what it is we have. Right? Now, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy joined Isogenics at the age of 74. Sponsored his 2 daughters initially, and the family's now earned over $57 million. I got to ask you a question. When was the last time that somebody rang you up, got in touch with you, and said, hey, I found a way where you and a couple of your mates combined could earn $57 million and more. Are you interested? Most people don't get that phone call, but you and I did. So my question now is, when was the last time you picked up the phone and said, hey, I found a way where over the next few years we could earn a few $1 million. This is insane. We've got the best market business plan on the planet. You know, and if you look at Jimmy, I love what the way Trevor's put this here, right? That's Jimmy at his 80th. That's Jimmy at his 90th. This is after 6 years, because he got in at 74, remember, on the cleansing and great nutritional program. This is after 16 years of Isogenics cleansing and nutrition. So he's 90 there, he's 80 here. Plus here, he'd had 6 years of the isogenesis. See, up until then, he had no isogenesis over here. It wasn't available. They hadn't even made it. They didn't know about it. But here he's been on it for a total of isogenics for a total of 16 years, but here 6 years of isogenesis. And I think he looks younger there at 90 than he does at 80. So is there anybody that you know that's moving down along the age track a bit that wouldn't want to look and feel better and healthier at 90 than they did at 74? Only a thought. I don't know, you might not know anybody like that. All right. Jimmy Smith is 90 years old. How many years until you're 90? All right. Imagine what you could look like if you really got stuck in. Okay, now the athletes. Many top athletes are using isogenics. Now, we've got the WADA certification on these products. They're clean. You know, it was interesting. The other week I went into we got this franchise here in Gawler called Massive Joe's, and they sell all these supplements. And I went in and I said, which of these supplements have got WADA certification? I said, what do you mean? I said, well, how many of your supplements are clean for athletes to, oh yeah, no, look, they're all pretty good. I said, yeah, but are they certified? Do you have any documentation to say that if my son's an Olympic athlete, he can, oh no, I don't have any certification. Right? We've got it, guys.
Athletes know that
we won't worry about that. Now, we have a proven system. It's been helping people with both their health and finances for 16 years. About 60,000 people in Australia are ordering regularly. That's less than 1%. Less than 1% of the market. So of everybody, out of every 100 people you know, only one of them is in isogenics. Out of every 100. And it's normal to share with friends about a great movie or a restaurant or a holiday. And many people have shared these amazing products and enjoy getting their products paid for. Tanya Kirkpatrick. Right? Now we'll listen to what Tanya says after a friend who was making about $1,000 a week at the time shared isogenics with her. Now I want you to think about this. Right? I want you to think about this. Her friend was making $1,000 a week. She shared the idea with Tanya. Now, $1,000 a week, that's not a lot of money, but it's pretty good money. It's better than the pension, better than New Start. $1,000 a week. You know, a lot of people earn that in a job, but they've got to front up 40 hours a week to get it. Let's have a listen.
That day, I could really grab a hold of this thought of if she could do it, I could do it. And I knew that everybody in this world is looking for both more time and more money. I don't care who you are. You know, so many people are like, oh, I'm not going to approach this person, you know, they're financially set. But what they don't understand is that they're dying inside because they're miserable. They are so strapped for time, and they're not feeling, they're feeling on fumes. So I never prejudge anybody physically or financially.
Never judge anybody physically or financially. See, the problem is you look at somebody, you know them, and you think, oh, no, I won't approach them. Right? Now, let me explain something to you. Jen and John O'Patch, between them, they were making $300,000 a year. They were doing okay, making $300K a year. It took their sponsor 16 months to get them in, and their sponsors live in Canada. And finally, they go, oh, look, to heck with it. Let's just, yeah, set it up, we'll get a box. They're making $1.2 million a year now. So these guys making 300,000, a lot of people would have thought, oh no, I can't approach them. Why not? Why not? I got a meeting on one night next week, Tuesday night or Monday, I don't know what night it is, over in Victoria. And these guys, I don't know what they're worth, but he's got a piggery over there with 2,000 sows in it. He's got 8 trucks, and he's just sown down, I think, 9,500 acres of wheat. Now, I don't know what the seed bill would be for 9,500 acres, let alone the super, let alone anything, right? And he's dead set keen. I rang him the other night. He said, all right, I'll have people here. Don't you worry. He's keen to go. All right? Don't prejudge people. You're letting them slip away. And look, I'll tell you a funny story at this point, because don't prejudge is very important. I'll tell you a story years ago in that old game we often talk about. The story goes that there was a guy who used to be in that, got out, and some years later got back in with somebody else. And that person took him along to a major function, big function, thousands of people there. And they had recognition going on. And they'd like to introduce this new diamond and that new diamond. And then this other person, we'll call him Bill Smith, introducing new diamonds, Bill Smith. And this new guy that was there goes, oh my God, no, no. And his sponsor said, what's the matter? I said, when I was in this before, he said, I contacted all these people and they said no, 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 they said no. He said, I just quit. He said, so what's the problem now? He said, well, Bill was the next name on my list, but I didn't ask him. Don't prejudge. You see, to help put the rest of this presentation into perspective for you, what do you normally spend on food, groceries, coffee, energy drinks, supplements, snacks, chocolate, cigarettes, alcohol, hair and beauty? It's a lot of money. Like if you look at that shopping trolley there, here in Australia, there'd be about 250, 300 bucks worth in that shopping trolley. Right? This is the most powerful slide in the whole presentation. You can change your life totally by changing how you spend $50 a week. And if you can get that across to your people and their people and their people by just spending $50 a week, I mean, we spend a lot more than that, but by doing that, you can change your life completely. Right? And everybody can build a business. The unemployed New Start allowance recipients, $500 a fortnight for single people, pensioners, low-income earners. Why? Because they all buy food. Huge problem. We solved the problem. We got a huge business potential. Instead of buying all their groceries and food from Coles, Woolies, IGA, etc., they can get at least $50 a week from Isogenics. I mean, this isn't rocket science. Change brands, order a few days in advance, share the idea with your friends, teach them how to do the same. You know, it is real simple stuff, guys. It really is simple, okay? Now, if people don't want to make a large purchase initially, then they can just buy, you know, smaller orders. 1 canister of shakes, 1 pack of isoline bars, and a fortnight later, do the same again. Now, Tanya Kirkpatrick, we've got to understand, she's in the top 3 income earner in the country, in the company. She's making $2 million a year. Now, that's $40,000 US per week. $40,000 I mean, quite frankly, if you ask some of your friends to have a look at this and they got in and took off like a rocket, and a couple of them made it, you know, were making $40,000 a week, do you think they'd be ticked off with you? I think they'd be buying beers. You'd be getting the Friday night frothies for free, right? You know, $40,000 a week. Now, Tanya's only been in Isogenics for 4 years. Isogenics started in the US in 2002, nearly 16 years ago. Tanya joined 11, 12 years after Isogenics started in the US. And Isogenics started in Australia 2007, 11 years ago. Okay? Same period of time, right? Tanya joined 11, 12 years after Isogenics started in the US. People starting now here in Australia, same time frames. There were already many successful ISA millionaires when she joined in the US. They had proven to her that it worked. We have a similar proof of concept here in Australia, right? Starting in Isogenics in Australia today is the same as Tanya was starting 4 years ago in the US. We haven't even, this is the best opportunity no one's ever heard of. No one's ever heard of it.
It's not hard. It's not hard unless you make it hard. Because last time I checked, people still go grocery shopping all the time.
It's not hard unless you make it hard. Don't make it hard on yourself. Hell, life's hard enough as it is. Don't make this hard. This is simple. This is so simple. I guarantee you, if you ask, you'll get. If you don't ask, you can't get. I was listening to a Jim Rohn seminar the other day, and Jim said that the reaping is reserved only for the sower. Those who reap the crop were the ones who sowed the crop. Don't be upset when you see others reaping a big crop because they sowed a lot of seeds. If you haven't sown the seeds, you can't expect the crop. It's not hard. Right? Now, the other day I had to go and have a blood test. And a while back I had one, and there was this guy down there, he's fairly overweight and all this sort of stuff. And when I was down there the other day, he wasn't there. But as I walked out, he was walking in. He's the manager of the place. And said, "G'day, how you going?" We stopped and had a chat and about the cold weather. And he said, "The trouble is," he said, "I've got far too much padding." And he's really overweight, this guy. And I said, "Oh, well, you know, you can get rid of that." "Oh, yeah," he said, "I've been using light and easy for I don't know how many months now." He said, "But God," he said, "you know, I think it's $5 breakfast, lunch and dinner, 7 days a week." He said, "It gets a bit expensive." He said, "and it doesn't work." He said, "The meals are so small." He said, "I walk out the door, go get a coffee, and the sausage roll that's sitting there is screaming at me. So I buy that too," right? Because he said, "I'm hungry all the time." Well, what was I supposed to do? You know, like, what was I supposed to do? Walk away? Hell no. "Give me your email address, mate. I'll sort you out." He said, "Well, what do you got?" I told him. And he said, "Well, that sounds interesting. What's the name of the company?" I said, "Isogenics." He said, "I never heard of it." He's in Adelaide. Like, he's Adelaide, Gawler. There's plenty of people in Isogenics around the district. He's never heard of it. Anyway, got to follow him up tomorrow. Earning a great income with Isogenics. Tanya explains how the money's made.
And when I talk about cycles, you have to think about, when you're talking to people, I think about talking to a kindergartner, because our mind works in bite-sized chunks. So I'm like, this is the cycle. You have, you know, these people are over here grocery shopping. Every time you get 600 business volume over here, and these people are grocery shopping. Every time you get 300 business volume here, it collides together and shoots out to you $54. And they're like, I go, "How often do you go grocery shopping?" "Well, how often do your friends go grocery shopping?" Because every time they go grocery shopping, you have an opportunity to earn referral back. And you have the opportunity to, you know, earn a percentage. Who wouldn't want that?
Who wouldn't want that? Of all the people you know, Who wouldn't like to get a percentage back on grocery shopping when everybody goes grocery shopping? Like, it's crazy, guys. This is, when you work this out in your head, it's so darn simple. This is amazing. Right? Now, this is the video on how it works.
So it all starts with you. You've got to be doing a minimum of 100 BB. You interview someone on the right team, you'll see 100 BB appear in the bank account below the right team. If you interview someone on the left-hand team, you'll see 300 points in your left team bank account. And then as more people are added and more product is shifted, more volume is added to your two teams. And every time you get 300 points on one side and 600 points on the other, you'll do another cycle. And this will just keep adding up. And then we get paid weekly. So here in this particular situation where you've done 5 cycles, you'd be paid that the week after you've done. So we get paid weekly, but it's a week in a ring. And the good news is it's a non-flushing binary. This means that any points that you have remaining at the end of the week go towards your next week's cycle. In this particular situation, you've already got 150 points on the left team and 450 points on the right team.
Okay, so we all know how that works, right? Positive cash flow in 60 days. The question you've got to keep asking yourself is this: when am I going to rank advance to the next level? Right? Now, Corinne and I are qualifying as directors, and we have done ever since we've been a director. I have no interest at this stage in becoming an executive. Right? So where I'm at now, or where we're at, is working with the guys in the group who want to move forward and help them go manager and director. Right? There's manager. You plus 2, them plus 2, all doing 100 points. You're a manager. It's a piece of cake. If you don't ask, you can't get. You plus 6 plus them plus 2 equals director. Now, it doesn't matter whether you've done it in your first 120 days or you do it in your first 10 years, you're still going to be a director. Okay? But once you've got your 6 consultants that are clocking in, these are the people who are showing an interest in building the business. You need to either get with these guys and or get down underneath them and help these people build their businesses. Right? By helping these guys build their businesses, you're strengthening this business. And so the more people you're prepared to go out and help, the bigger the group you'll have. And this was Linda's, well, all the pictures are Linda's input, but, you know, some people are into the numbers. You enroll 5, who get 5, who get 5, who get 5, right? You've got 3,900 people in your group, everybody doing 100 BB, that's 390,000 a month. You'd be a 5-star doing over 100 cycles a week and making $6,000 a week. Sit down money. You don't have to front up. You don't have to fill out KPIs. You don't have to work out, oh man, it's cold this morning, but I've got to go to work. You don't have to sit in traffic trying to get to work. Right? But Linda's theory was, well, she's not into numbers all that much, so you share with 5, teach them to share, repeat, 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 and you end up with a big crowd. It's pretty simple, right? That's pretty simple. What difference would an extra 600 a week or 30,000 a year make to you? What sort of holiday would you have? What would you do with the extra 30,000 a year? What sort of car would you like to be buying? Speaking of such, I think TJ sold his little Go Hard Audi the other day, and he's now bought a some sort of V6 all-wheel drive Volkswagen-y thing, and I think tonight he's buying another Audi as well. So, but anyway, what sort of car would you like? What difference would $2,000 a week or an extra $100,000 a year make to you? You see, you got to understand something, guys. An extra $100,000 a year income is the equivalent of drawing the interest today at 1.5% off $20 million in the bank. Your superannuation isn't that good. It just isn't. Everybody eats food. Go and sow the seeds. Ask the questions. Right? Although it may seem hard to believe, you can change your life totally by changing how you spend $50 a week and teaching the people you know how they spend $50 a week. It's only $50. Right? 2 reasons for playing the recognition video is to show that ordinary Australian Kiwis from all backgrounds and ages became successful. To show that you can achieve your goals if you're prepared to make some changes and put in the required work like they did. They're no better than you. They're no better than me. They just did more. They just did it harder and faster. And don't be put off by the excitement. Spectators get excited at a football match. Did anybody watch the soccer? Those guys went nuts. You know, like, I could not believe the euphoria when France won. It was like, you know, I don't know, it was the most amazing thing. And all these spectators were yelling and screaming and jumping and carrying on like lunatics. They didn't even touch the damn ball. They were spectators. They couldn't change the result if they tried. They were spectators and they were bouncing out of their chairs. They went nuts. They were crying. They were screaming. You know, clapping hands and listening to a bit of music is pretty tame in comparison to the French, I can tell you. But we won't go through the video, right? But understand this. Between making a few $100 a week and making thousands of dollars a week, it's there for anybody in any mindset where you're at. Remember, if they can do it, you can achieve your goals. Right? So this is the recognition. We'll jump through that. If all those people can make between $100,000 and $1.5 million per year, why can't you achieve your goals? And in the US, the top income earners are making $3 million a year. And like Trev said, I don't know whether you can read that graph very well or not, but I think there's a trend going on. Right? Now, I want you to think about the business that you're in, whatever that is, wherever you work. Do they have a growth trend like that? That that you've got some input on. Not a shabby little outfit they've built. Seems to fit the bill all right. Now, the biggest multi-level company started in '59. Again, 59 years ago. It operates in over 100 countries and has achieved 11.8 billion annual turnover. 11.8 billion. We're only doing 1 billion. We're only in 17 countries. We're not in 100. We're in 17. Okay, so I just want to try something here for a second. Let's do this. We go 100 divided by 17 equals 5.8. So they're in 5.8 times more countries than what we're in. Now, we're only turning over 1 billion. Our penetration here in Australia is less than 1%, when our total marketplace is every house on every street, in every town and every farm in between, because everybody eats food. All right? So we are just way off the mark here, guys. This is the best kept secret on planet Earth. We've just opened up in Spain. Yippee. Looking at Spain. I love Spain. Spain's good. All right? Now we got this. Zoom. Now there's just a handful of us on here. But we can Zoom anywhere in the world. You can do anything you like. The problem you've got is we got far too much stuff going on here about what's you're perceiving as difficult, and not enough stuff going on in here as to how amazing this is. This is just amazing. You've got a multi-billion-dollar product range solving all the problems of everybody in the world, health, wealth, and happiness. We've got the technology to back it up. It's so simple, and we've got the best compensation plan in any MLM, and we can't quite figure out how to talk to people about it. This is amazing. Now, here's your skills. Use the products, make a list, contact the people, share the program, follow up, and promote. That's it. Now I can go on and on and on and on, but I'm not going to finish. I'm going to finish this program here. So this is all that you need to know how to do. Now you know how to use the products. Every one of you has got a list. You know how to contact people, and it's simply just asking a few questions and listening to people's answers. And then, because everybody has got some sort of issue, they've either got a health issue or a money issue or a time issue. If we ask the questions, they'll give us the answers, and then we just tell them we've got a solution. It's pretty simple. So then we share the program with them, we do the follow-up, and we promote Team FSI. And you'll make a fortune. You'll be free. You'll be rich. You'll be healthy, wealthy, wise. Well, it's a bit hard. Some people drive Fords. But anyway, but look, it's okay, right? We can just get our head around the simplicity of this. It will be just amazing. You can sit at home and drive a Zoom program for the bloke 10 mile up the road or 10,000 miles across the sea. I'm going to unmute everybody. Has anybody got any questions?
Well, all good.
No, that's brilliant. Can't get any easier. Just got to work out how to do the.
Well, I'll walk you guys through that. So if anybody's got the program, and I mean, I can't help you too much with, if you've got it downloaded, I can help you, but I'm not technically switched on to helping you with the download. Trev can help you with that, but I can download it for you, but if it won't download, I'm a bit stuck. But guys, all I've done is put it on a USB, right? And I can take it with me and I can either stick it in the back of a TV, a smart TV, I think, or I can just take my computer and stick it in the computer, or stick it in their computer. Right? You've got a multi-million-dollar business right here, right there. It's 1.7 gigs. It's a big file, but it's all there. You know, it is just amazing. Anyway, anybody got any other questions?
No, you just answered. I was going to ask how big is the size of the file? What you just said, 1.7 gigs. No,
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah, that's all I was going to ask. How big was the file?
Yeah. Well, see, today most of the USBs are about the smallest you can get now. I think is about an 8 gig. So you used to be able to get 4s, but now 8's about the smallest. So if you've got to pay for one, it's about $7 or something.
Yeah,
so you've got a $7 piece of equipment carrying $1 million business.
Incredible. That's using it on the USB is a lot easier because you can use it with the tablet then.
Yeah, you can put it into anything.
That, see?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Tim,
Yes, Maria.
do you still have the link of the QuickTime
The QuickTime.
link?
Yeah, I think I do.
Would you be able to send me that?
Yeah, I can, but the challenge we've got is I think that expired in April. Trevor sent it out,
Yeah.
but it's not working, and I think Trev said on the weekend that he did a bit of looking back into it, and that QuickTime link died in April. Now they've got to pay for it.
Aha.
That's
Aha.
the issue.
So, because I downloaded it, but it changed everything on my computer, which was not a problem. But my other videos, I couldn't get the sound. So, and then I thought I couldn't use it on my tablet. So,
Okay. Does your tablet have a USB port?
yeah. I can use all my other from before, VLC and all that. But it changed them all over, and I had no sound of the other videos. I had the sound of this presentation, but not on my other videos. So I uninstalled it, and I was looking for the
Yeah, okay.
link again.
Look, I'll dig it out. I'll try. I'm pretty sure I've still got it. I'll try and send it to you and see if it'll work, okay? All right, I can do that.
Is nothing else working? Is no other because I thought I might go to my computer guy.
Well, the other thing I could do is I could just download it onto a USB for you. But then again, if you don't have the program on your tablet or whatever, it won't work. So it is a bit of an issue in that regard. So I'm not sure, Maria. Perhaps if you ever talk to your computer guy, he might be more helpful.
Because I think there should be other programs should work there too.
Yeah, you'd think so. Yep.
Yeah, I got someone to download it for me, mine, and my sound didn't come through either. And he had to